Oh, Kalimera, Kalispera, whatever time you are watching. This is Mappa. I'm Stel. I've got Thasso here. Thasso, did you enjoy your Pascha? Did you have your flaunes?
Oh, yeah. Well, flowering as I can't, man. I've got to wait. I got to wait till May when I'm over. My mum's going to defrost a couple for me. Of course, taking the big 20-kilo bags over there. So just filling them up, or fill them up with flowers and halloumi to bring back as well.
Standard.
Lovely
And
stuff.
Drahana.
Yeah.
Drahana.
Wow.
Standard.
We'll see with the drahana, but the halloumi for sure, because Carrefour stopped selling them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't go there for 2 weeks. I swap over to other supermarkets that are available. And I showed up there 2 weeks later, and they were completely off the shelves. I was proper pissed off as well.
This is unacceptable for anyone at Carrefour watching, Carrefour
Yeah,
France, right?
yeah,
You're a disgrace. I think you
yeah,
need to bring back the halloumia. This isn't good enough.
yeah.
This is
Have a
not good
word with
enough.
Simo, man. There was Simo's halloumi as well. Have a word with Simo. Don't know who he is, but apparently he was selling them. Anyway,
Well,
how about
well,
you? What about you? Not me.
Caralambidis Christie's make lovely halloumia, and I know they pay some attention to our social media. So I
Yeah,
think I need to get on the phone to these guys and arrange something because this is
yeah,
unacceptable.
yeah. Sort it out. Sort it out. Big,
Absolutely,
big cheese market over here, lads. Big
absolutely.
cheese market.
Do
What
you
about
know, this
you?
yeah, it was all right, man. It was all right. Standard, family stuff. No complaints. Had my
Mm.
flaunes. My mom gave me like 3 Ziploc bags full of them,
Nah,
and they've gone
lovely,
in
man.
the they've gone in the freezer. And
Yeah.
I think I ate about 6 of them in the past week or so, which is why I started my diet yesterday. I started my
Yeah.
diet.
So no more fulgur either then.
Well, I will have my souvlaki, right? But it's gonna be chicken. Okay. Do you know
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
I'm going off on a tangent here, but I was watching some old videos from like 3 years ago, the podcast. I was like, shit, like my face is filled out too much. Before I looked ill, now I look overweight. So
No,
there's
man.
no
Healthy.
no,
Healthy.
no, 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 no. Listen, I signed back up to the gym, right? And
Yeah.
this is the problem with me, right? I'll sign up to the gym and I'll do 6 or 7 months worth of training, and then I'll either get injured and it will put me out. Like when I did my sciatic nerve, right? That'll put me out for weeks, and then I cancel my subscription, and then I re-sign again, and it just rinse and repeat. Anyway, so I hadn't been to the gym for 6 months, and I went back yesterday, and I thought, I'm going to take it easy on myself because number one, I'm 43 years old. I'm not 23. So I can't deadlift 200 kgs like I used to. And my back wouldn't let me do it anyway, even if I could. Right. So I started with these baby weights, like 8 kilogram dumbbells, do the dumbbell curls. And I got my
Yeah.
10
Yeah.
kilogram bar. And I'm like, this is shit. What am I doing? I thought, let me get brave with the 20. I was like, yeah, great. 25, great. 30, great. And then I thought to myself, let me try do my shrugs because I loved it. I'm going off on a tangent here. Like when I start talking about the gym, it just doesn't stop. But I love doing shoulder shrugs. They're my thing. Like
Right.
there's something called farmer walks, where basically what you do, you pick up the dumbbells and you
Yeah.
just walk up and down, right? You could walk
Okay.
20 meters and then 20 meters back, and obviously does your traps, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, let me try just doing shrugs with the 30 kg dumbbells because I was doing like 20 or 25 kgs and I was all right. And I did the 30s, got to 6 shrugs and I felt a sharp pain down the back of my neck. I'm like, I'm putting these back because my
Yeah.
body said to me, you haven't done this for 6 months, bruv. What's wrong with you? So I was like, allow it. So
Yeah.
I
You
was
need
like,
you
fuck
need to
it.
be careful. Those shrugs don't get permanent. Yeah, and they end up like this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my shoulders like became literally like triangles. Like fucking yeah. But see, this is the thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm sure. Look, for me, it's been a difficult few months because forget the football side of things. I just think that work is taking its toll on me. I think life is taking its toll on me. I'm realizing that I'm getting old. Right, my daughter's 9 years old. She was 9 in February, and I'm thinking, shit, where's the time gone? And I'm thinking, I'm 43, man. Like I'm 43. And it's like because I work from home, it's very difficult to have a social life as well. Because I'm working and then come 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever time I finish, if I don't have a call afterwards, work related, I'm like, can I be asked to go out? Can't be bothered. So it's come to a point where I'm like stuck in a situation where it's like my social life is minimal. Yeah, I've got the podcast and obviously I do other things, but in terms of getting out, I don't like socializing. I don't like going to pubs. I don't drink. I don't go to bars. I don't like going up London as well because it's a fucking shithole. You know, even stepping outside my house, there's a chance of getting stabbed, right? So it's like the gym is my sanctity, so to speak. And after 2 days of going back, just 2 days, like I feel 100%. It's those endorphins, bro. Honestly, and this is the only advice I can give to people that feel like utter shit. Just go to the gym. I know I sound like Andrew Tate, yeah, but trust me, go to the gym, throw some metal about, and just see people. Just see people. That is the best advice I could give, man. Anyway, that's my my pearls of wisdom. 6 minutes of your life you lot won't ever fucking get back. But yeah, I feel good. But anyway, aside from that, I'm okay. Aside from that, I'm okay.
And I heard you were practicing your Greek earlier as well.
Yeah, mate. Do you know what?
And formations and all that.
Yeah. Do you know what the thing is? And this is the thing. This is on me as well, because when I was younger, obviously my mum, you know, she came out here as a refugee in '74, and my dad doesn't really speak much Greek anyway, and I obviously communicate with him in English, and my mum obviously speaks to me in Greek and whatever. But the thing is, all through my junior years, my secondary school years, I didn't really make an effort. And I think it's because you take it for granted that even though you understand it, speaking it is like a chore. And as I got older, it's like, fucking hell, languages are so important, bro. So important. Like, you can speak Greek, English, French. You know, I said to my daughter, speak another language when you're older because you're going to need it. Like, and it's going to help as well, especially when we're doing podcasts, for example. Like when we interviewed like Manu Garcia, there were some words in Spanish, in English that he didn't know. Fortunately, I've got a bit of Spanish in my glossary. You know, it's not great, but there's some words I can translate, and it fucking helps out. So even the little things, like even asking for directions when you go to different countries, it's important. But we take these for granted when we're young. Like we think, fuck it, I'd rather go clubbing. I'd rather go out with my mates. So yeah. Anyway, I talk too much, bro. You can tell I don't go out.
No, man, it's fine. Frontisteria were a killer. I had to. So for people in Gibro, I did an A level in Greek when I was 13. Then normally you do your A levels when you're 18.
Yeah, 60, 70, yeah.
Yeah. So I basically I did the A level when I was 13. I got a B in it, and I was like, yes. Your mum, though.
Not good enough.
Nah, my hey, Patso. Ray, you come to this house and you get a beer.
Oh man, but
there you go.
As a parent, like, I'm not even trying to be funny here. Like with my daughter, like I said, she's 9 years old, and the amount of pressure I put on her to do well at school, like it's insane. And I can be such a cunt sometimes, yeah. But honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, like the other week, right? She did this spelling test, and she got 16 out of 18. And the 2 words that she fucked up, we've been practicing, and she got them all right. But then when it came to doing it in the classroom, she fucked it up. And she came home, she goes, Papa, I got 16 out of 18. I said, 16? I said, that's rubbish. And here's me, like, in my head, I'm like, whoa, hang about, Stel, she's only 9, for fuck's sake. You know, she's only 9, you know? Or like during the Greek school show that she did a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
There's a song that her and her class had to sing. And when it came to her bit, she fucked it up. She got scared and she ran off, right? Now, I was filming the whole thing because the school asked me to do it. So I had my cameras. And fortunately, I was on the side holding the camera while she came to me behind the curtain. And I said to her, right, listen, right, don't cry. I know it's embarrassing, right? Because there's parents watching, there's kids watching, and obviously you're worried about people making fun of you. I says, first of all, these things happen, right? Live shows, live events, these things happen. It happens to the best people, right? And at that point, she like calmed down and she was actually listening. I says, look, it's good that this has happened to you now that you're 9 years old, not that you're 18, 19 and you're having the show of your life and this happens to you. Now, this is your opportunity to learn from it and know what not to do next time this happens. So I said, go back and do it again. And the teacher goes, shall we do it again? I'm going to do it again. And she smashed it. So again, it's all about learning, bro. You got a child,
Yep.
and obviously
Yep.
the little one isn't at that age where he's talking or walking yet. But it's difficult to how can I put it? To act the way that resonates with your child, because again, my daughter, she's very mature for her age. So even when you're having a conversation with her, you're thinking you're talking to an adult. And this is the thing: whenever she does something or behaves a certain way, I think, why are you behaving like this? But then again, my mind is already on the stage where it's like she talks like an adult, she behaves like an adult, but you still need to remember she's a fucking kid, bro. Like it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. Again, I'm talking too much. Let's talk about football. Let's talk about
Talk about football.
Let's talk about
Yeah,
football.
we can do that.
Yeah, let's go for it. And we've got the highlights for some Group B games. And as you know, Thassos, it hasn't been an eventful couple of weeks with Group B. Unfortunately, I don't think have scored a goal since we last did the show. They've had 2 goalless draws. The action has been very, very minimal. But I think we've got our goal of the season. I don't think we need to do a video compilation, do we?
Well, I tell you what, Nicolas Tabizas has been having some fucking what is it? Post-traumatic stress disorder.
PTSD, yeah.
Yeah, from seeing one of those. But yeah, it's I don't know. I still want to put that Ben free kick in there as well, and Morgan Brown's first goal. But
I know you do. But hey,
it's a goal and a half, isn't it?
This is a World Cup. Let's go with the highlights. The Doxa beat Olympiacos by a 1-0, and this, wow,
look at
Sadiq.
That, man. Look at that.
Go on, you talk about this one.
There's not like people really need to go see this. People really need to see this if they're only listening to the podcast, because it's fantastic. It's mesmerizing. Like he clips it up, kind of facing away from goal, gets it over. I think that's Muhtari's, isn't it? Yeah, and then just gets around him, trips up as well, and then manages to get back up and volley it in. I mean, there's not much else. There's not much else anybody could do about it, really, is it? It's
unbelievable.
Just appreciate it.
Unbelievable. And the thing is, I don't care what anyone says. He meant that. He fully meant that. Yeah. There is no way you're gonna go back to goal and try that without with the opportunity to put it in the back of the net like that. And I don't think he meant to slip, but I think the slip actually helped him, because it gave him enough time to get up and for the ball to drop. Because if he was still standing, he'd probably just be standing there waiting for the ball to drop. But that, for me, goal of the season, push gas award right there, man.
Bam. And anyway, you see there as well, there was actually people that saw it there as well. Not like normal Doxa games. Sorry, Doxa. But yeah.
Well, Olympiacos then went to Agrida and lost 2-1. Again, a game that I didn't watch, to be fair, mate. Both teams look like they're down, dead and buried. But Agrida are showing some fight, which has got to be something, right?
Yeah. They're trying, aren't they? There's just they're doing it a bit too late. The problem is as well, Doxa and Karamodis are picking up points, and that's what's doing them in. And that's what's doing all three of the teams in the relegation places in, is that the teams above them are winning. Again, would it help Agridas if they changed the goalkeeper?
Maybe he's got a clause in his contract that's "do not play" clause.
Yeah, maybe. It's like it's like one of those football manager contracts. He's like on £5. Is on £5 a week until he plays a game. Then it goes up to 500. Kind of one of those ones.
Mate, do you know what? I feel sorry for Joel, because all 3 goals that we've seen him concede, he's had no chance.
He
He's got no
really
chance.
hasn't, has he? Yeah. It's like you put these. I don't know why you front loaded it with Joel having depressed face on. But he does. It does come good for him in the other Olympiacos game once
It
we
does. It does
get
indeed.
round to it.
Does
So,
indeed. But
but
yeah,
yeah,
I think they will
yeah.
be back though. I'm telling you, they'll be back.
Oh
I'm
yeah. They're, like we said last week. Oh bloody.
There
Yeah,
you
sorry, we
go.
just moved to.
Boxer one, Salamina one. Here's your
Yeah,
mate. Add on in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, Adnan on, man.
Sorry.
He's having a nightmare of a season, isn't he? He's the first goal scorer in the Alphamera Stadium.
Wrong end.
He's been sent in the wrong end. He's been sent off, I think, twice this season. And this isn't the first time he's kind of done like a Peter Enkelman kind of control of the ball. And I think he does it a second time in this
Yeah, he
match
does
as
it
well.
later on. Yeah, he does it later
And
on.
Shishkovsky's he's able to deal with it. Fair enough. But then again, Sadiq gets a goal out of nothing, like
Yeah.
facing the wrong way. So it's not even I don't know how he got the direction on the ball either, because his leg doesn't move how you would not like a bicycle
Did he
kick
shin
or
it? Did he shin it
yeah.
though?
It's because he does. He kind of shins it, doesn't he? It's not.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he saw our goal of the season competition and he thought, I want one of my own.
yeah. He, but
Not bad for 37-year-olds. Come on now.
yeah, man. He's got. I think he's got another year on his contract as well. So we've got next season to look forward to them kind of goals as well.
And Isle warmed up for the semi-final with a 1-0 victory over Paralimni.
Yep. So yeah. Again, scoring goals is a problem for IL. Obviously, we had the podcast last time around. I think it's 2 weeks ago now, because obviously last week we released a Morgan Brown interview. But yeah, so we talked about there being the possibility of Janevski going, and the day after they announced it, he was gone. Bam.
24 hours later.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what happened. So I mean, from the press releases and kind of the rest of it from both sides, there didn't seem to be any animosity from it. Janevski probably he was well aware that he probably got as much out of the team that he had available to him as he could, and players obviously. Whilst they've got some, in theory, they've got some class strikers that should be doing a lot better. It just doesn't seem to have happened for them this season. But Janevski was brought in to kind of steady the ship after Bebe and Silas kind of having that nightmare start. I think it was 5 losses in a row, wasn't it? Before, yeah. So he seems to have kind of balanced them out a bit. Now, IL have since appointed a caretaker, so basically just to last them till the end of the season. Following his second sacking from Garmiodisa of the season, he was appointed a chief scout at IL, and he's now stepped in to take over the coaching till the end of the season. Now, his CV highlight is something we discussed with Morgan Brown in the interview last week. It seems to be that everybody's kind of listed like his big thing was Garmiodisa beat Aris while he was in charge of Garmiodisa. That was the thing that got him the job. So fair enough. He seems to have started well enough as well. He's got a win and a draw. Again, like I said, same issues remain. Keep good defending, can't score to save their lives. To celebrate, in inverted commas, kind of Janevski leaving, I did a list on Twitter of all the managers, that have been around this season in the league. So I did a little count. We've got, and kind of like to minimize the amount of people that have been sacked, I decided to counter in for a Zorniger factor. So people that got dismissed prior to the season starting, didn't include them. So we've got Aik. I've had one.
Yep.
That's all. He said he was going to go. He's still there.
Yeah, true.
And he's managed to turn it around for one game at least. I'll have had 3. So we've discussed Yaneski, Charalambos, and Silas. So we've talked about all 3 of them. Agridas have had 3. David, Badia, Akrapovic, and Laktionov, who's in charge now. And Orthosis have had 3. That's Milanic, Munoz, and Mihajlovic.
Yep.
Like their M's.
Yep.
So the next one's going to be an M. Abuel have had 2. Avosti and Milojevic. Apollon have had 3. Catalama, Gridis, and Andoni. Aris have had Shpilevsky. Karmiotis have, deep breath. Yep, they've had 7. Urin Jr., Haralambos, Kachkevich, Haralambos, Avgusti, Kershakov, and Bratu. Olympiacos have had 3, Petragis, Sergidis, and Dudic.
1 minute. Did Dudic start the season?
He did, but no, he didn't start the season.
He didn't.
It was pre-season he got sacked.
Yeah. But does that count then?
It doesn't because, like I said, Zorniger factor.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Omonia have had Lennon, Ferrara, and Avgusti. Salamina have had Bursabol all season. Barfos have had Berg and Salgado. Paralimni have had Sachas. And I've just checked, I just remembered in the notes, I haven't included Doxa, who have had 4.
Or Apoel.
I mentioned Apoel.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Avosti Milojevic. Yeah. Avosti Milojevic. But Doxa have had 4. So we've had Cho, Sakas, who's in charge now. And then we've got Vidigal is the one that lasted a session. And then there was that other Spanish guy. But in essence, it's 37 managerial jobs. There's only 14 teams in the league. Now, even if you take Garmiotis out, that's still 30 jobs for 13 teams.
That's crazy. But the thing is, to be fair, right? And with the exception of Garmiodissa, right, who've had 7, and I can't remember any team in Cyprus having 7 head coaches in one season. My memory is it doesn't go that far back. But to be fair, on the Brodathlima, if you look at, say, the Premier League, the best league in the world, right? How many managerial changes have there been there?
This season has been quite intense in the Premier League as well. Actually.
Leicester, Leeds, Palace, Wolves, Chelsea. That's five out of 20.
Tottenham twice now.
Twice, yeah. Who else?
Villa.
Villa, yes. What's his name came in?
Yeah, Crystal Palace. Vieira's gone.
Yes. Who else? Which other team? Hang about. Spurs, Brighton, Potter left.
Yep. Bournemouth,
yes.
Okay.
Everton.
Yeah.
Southampton.
Yeah.
So there's at least 10 teams. So half of the
Leeds.
So half of the teams in the biggest league in the world, they don't trust their fucking coaches, or they panic. So
I don't know. I think it's something weird specifically this season, all over the place. I don't know what the hell's gone on this season that's made everybody push the panic button as much as it has.
What, Cyprus or in general?
In general, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. But the thing is, if you look at the Brodathlima right now, which managerial changes would you say have actually worked out so far?
Apoel, because when they got rid of Avosti, they were in 5th or 6th.
He started the season with them, didn't he?
Yeah, with Avosti,
Apollon, would you say?
Andoni coming in, That was
what about IL? I mean, they're in the semi-final.
yeah. I mean, we mentioned Janevski was able to steady the ship. Obviously, the with Haralambos, it's the jury's still out because he's only played 2 games, so we don't know yet for that.
Yeah.
I'm just having a look at some of the other ones.
Which do you think him coming in as caretaker
for
made the difference?
Anarfosi? Yeah. I mean, again, they got to the point where I think he only got to like the last 3 games for getting into the top 6 because of that run of form that they had prior to it.
Yeah,
got them into that contention to nearly right up to the end, and then it kind of dropped off again. Salgado at the moment seems to have sorted out a little bit what was going on with Bafos with their run of form.
What about Sofronis? Okay, how about this one? Are we going to say that Sofronis has been a success if Omonia get to the final of the cup?
I mean, no. Maybe if he wins it, it'll be a success. But if he got to the final, I think that would be, at least I'm guessing for Omonia fans, that would be the minimum expectation with the draw that they've had.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Because don't forget, Lennon came in last season.
Yeah.
And his first game was the cup games were IL and Anophtisi, which are just as difficult. Yeah, to be fair. Be fair. And Avusti has done Aboel and Buffalo, which is probably a trickier route given the rivalry with Aboel. So I understand what you're saying about the bare minimum, but if we do get past Buffalo tomorrow, which I doubt, but anyway, let's say for example we do, what then? Because it's either IL or Olympiacos. Both teams are Group B. If it's Olympiacos, who are likely to be relegated, it's like Ethnikos all over again, like last season.
Yeah.
He has to win it.
Yep.
So the pressure's on him. If we beat Buffalo tomorrow, we get to the final, the pressure's on him.
I mean, because if you have a look at the league form as well, it's not been... It's not motivating the league form, is it? So I would say...
But you know what? To be honest, right? Sorry to interrupt, but to be honest, I think once we got past Aboel and then got into the top 6, I just think they thought, fuck it, we've got to the top 6. It hasn't been as bad a season as the last. We're still in the cup. We're still with a chance. So we're going to put all of our efforts in that. The problem is that is a massive gamble. That is a massive gamble.
Mm-hmm. It's not just that. It's that as well, kind of motivation. It becomes a bit more difficult as well. I mean, you talk about obviously being this big up
passion merchant. Go on, say it.
Passion merchant. But yeah.
I got you to say he's a passion merchant.
No, yes. I said that you call him a passion merchant. But even for him, even if he is a passion merchant, he's going to have a lot of difficulty trying to get this team motivated to play a resurgent Baffle as well. So it's not like the Baffle from 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now, from the first leg.
Yep.
So, but right. I'm just trying to think.
Shall we finish off a Group B thing?
Yeah. Go on, let's do it.
All right. Okay, so Olympiacos beat Salamina 1-0. And our friend Joel Mols saved a penalty from Dore Garay. A very good save.
Joel.
And there's something I will say, right? There's something I will say. I put the video obviously up on our Instagram, and Dore Garay actually replied in a private message with like applauding emoji. So respect to him for doing that.
Yeah. Because it wasn't a badly taken penalty either. It was. Nope. It was a good penalty. So yeah. No, I mean Dore Garay. There's something to say about Dore Garay as well, because the media places in Cyprus are starting to talk about him now, whereas we've been talking about him for 6 weeks. They've been saying like, oh, some of the bigger teams in the league are starting to scout him, and you know, we've been talking about him being, scoring all these goals and being impressive since what, 6 weeks ago? Yeah. So pick it up. How, like they say in the Scar songs, pick it up.
The thing is, though, we know about Salamina's financial difficulties.
Yeah.
They are in the shit, to use Cisco Munoz's words, and they will need every penny they can get. So I think Doragaray, if he does leave, which is looking likely, he'll go for a pretty penny, but I don't think it'll be like a huge amount. It'll be enough for Salamina to be happy, but if they weren't in that financial situation, number one, he probably wouldn't be leaving, and number two, they probably get more for him. But the interesting thing is today they put up an interview for a role for a team manager. I'm thinking, how the fuck can you afford like wages? You're struggling.
I don't know. I think it's more a replacement for somebody who's gone, maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
So it's just a like for like replacement.
Possibly, but anyway.
But
there's one more game. Garmiodis beat Agrida by a 1-0. Again, I'm sorry to sound like that guy or be that guy, but Group B games right now, they practically meaningless unless you're trying to fight for survival. But we know the teams that are going down. Garmiodis with their 7th head coach, they're probably going to stay out looking likely anyway. So yeah, good win for them, but it's just pre-season mode for them, isn't it?
Yeah. I think some of the teams higher up than say Garmiodis and Doxa, because whilst there's a gap there, it's not a gap to be like, relax, but your AEL and Orthosi and Salamina, they can start to look at next season and trying to see who they should keep as like a core group of players. For some reason, Orthosi keep persisting on playing Waris. But there's I don't know, man. I don't know. The only reason I keep thinking is because Sandis came out and said that some of the signings that they've made aren't just bad, but they're tragic because of the contract length and the wages that they're having to pay those players. And I'm guessing some of those signings were made this summer. Now, one of those signings that were made in the summer that's still there is Waris. So, anyway, I'm just stating facts. That was said. This was done. This person's here. Bring them together. There you go. What are you going to do? Now, just going through my notes just to see if there's anything we should be bringing up. The Agritas versus Olympiacos game.
Yes.
So I was on the Soccer Noob podcast.
Oh yeah.
A couple of weeks ago to discuss that as their match of disappointed. Now I predicted a 1-1 draw for Agritas to take the lead and then for them to squander it with an Esselink equaliser. Because the reason was when we recorded that, one, Esselink was scoring every game for Olympiacos, and two, Agritas was scoring first and then losing games. And then Esselink hits the bar and bloody Dormi Shai plays his first game in what God knows how long and gets on the score sheet. So great.
You're thinking game on. Your accumulator's on.
Yeah, great. Which
the
means
ACCA is on.
The thing is, right, because that score, that Agritas to Olympiacos 1 score, Soccer Noob's daughter predicted that score. after the discussion we had, she went 2-1 to them, and didn't even call that's by name. She just pointed. So
FC them.
so yeah, there you go. So bloody hell, man. Anyway,
God almighty.
yeah. So do you want to talk about some social media L's or not?
Yeah, go on. You start, and I'll bring up the the images.
So we could go with Gadmiodissas first.
Yes, I think we shall.
I think you'll be able to talk a bit more on this, kind of like the media background, marketing background on this. But basically, Gadmiodissas' Twitter account, once Gadmiodissas had scored 2 in their game, I can't remember what game it was, but yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they tagged him. They tagged him in theory on a post on their Twitter account, but the Nikos Galtsas that they tagged in that post is actually a biomedical engineer with 8 followers.
Oh my god! Oh shit! Hell! Oh,
this post belongs in the Louvre.
Mate, look. I don't want to be a complete dick about this, right? But a lot of companies use these social media, media posting tools, and what it is, you just amalgamate all of your social platforms onto this, and you schedule the post, and obviously you write the text, you can at whoever or whatever. But the thing is, when you're the one that pointed it out to me, and I looked at it, I was like, what's happened here? And then I saw the app, I was like, oh my god, like, what have they done? The poor bloke. I mean, he's lucky that Gadmiodissas haven't got tens of thousands of followers, because he'd have been flooded with congratulations, 2 great goals, but MVP. Poor guy. He probably doesn't even know where Gadmiodissas are, who they are. So this is a faux pas, in the sense that, all right, I understand you want to schedule your post because it saves you time, and you're going to have someone posting every 10 minutes or half an hour or 3 hours, however which way you want to do it. But do your due diligence before you do it. Honestly, it's not rocket science. If you're going to at someone, because what I think they've done, they've catered it just to Instagram, because that's the players at on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then they've connected it to, I don't know, Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and it's just been fired out. And we're like, guys, it's a problem here.
Yeah, exactly. Although, to be fair, they're not the only ones who've messed up.
No,
the last couple of weeks. So Nea Salamina as well.
Yes.
They basically put up a post, I think it's on Facebook, where basically they've got in Greek they've written ενημέρωση και εισιτήρια για την 30η αγωνιστική β' φάση πρωταθλήματος blah 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 blah. The important thing is the number 30 in that. Basically, they're talking about the 30th match day. Now, in the poster that they put with the post, it says game week 32. I mean, somebody do just all it is like, does it match? Does it match? It doesn't match. Okay, well, let's go back and fix it. No.
Again, this goes back to what I keep saying about attention to detail. And look, I'll be the first to admit I've fucked up in the past on social media, putting out posts. Like, for example, even the Morgan Brown first post that I put out, I spelled episode wrong, so I had to delete it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was literally, I noticed it the moment I pressed tweet. I noticed it, so I was like, let me load it up, let me wait for it to post, and then I'll delete it, and then I'll do it again. But for something like this, it's glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
To the point where when you're creating that post, you can see it says match day 32 on the fucking graphic.
Yeah.
The only thing I can assume has happened is again they've probably scheduled it, and maybe the match was moved in between the time when they scheduled it, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was supposed to
I
be
don't
the
know.
30-second, and then they put it as I don't know. But again, like honestly, and again, this is now you're going to start me off now because this is what I keep saying. This is what I keep saying about social media marketing in Cyprus. A lot of these companies are doing it. These clubs are doing it properly, but then you got a lot of them that are trying, but they're getting the basics wrong. And once you start getting the basics wrong, people lose interest. Now, I don't know
Yeah.
how many followers Salamina have on Twitter. In fact, let me check it now. Actually, now Salamina, what have they got? I'll be surprised if they have more than 2,000. I'll be very surprised. 1,100. There you go.
There you go.
Right. So again, they haven't. There hasn't been that many people that have seen this. I'm assuming anyway. But when did they post it again? It was on the 17th. Right. So there's been no replies, no retweets, no likes, only 104 views. And to be honest, none of those 104 people have given a shit to correct them.
Yeah.
So they're just going to carry on doing it. But again, if you're going to be serious about social media marketing and branding, all that kind of stuff, you need to be all in. You can't go half-assed. Anyway, let's move on, man. Let's move on.
No, there's one more I wanted to bring up. No. There's one more I wanted to bring up because this one is a news site getting it wrong.
Oh,
Match.cy for the Anorthosis Karmiotissa game. What was the score?
0-0. It was such an entertaining game. Like I had to double take to make sure that it was
okay. Yeah. Because according to Match.cy, the game finished 1-0.
Here's a question because
do we need to get the ethics committee involved? Is my question.
Well, I'm going to counter your question with a question of my own. Did you watch the game and was there a goal disallowed?
I did not watch the game because I knew this score was coming. The 0-0.
Well, I'm gonna watch it later on, and on the next pod, I'm gonna refresh your memory. I'll just let you know whether it was a goal disallowed, and maybe they just left it like that. But for me, it's stupid, man. Stupid. It's stupid. And the thing is, they put it twice there. Look at the top and at the bottom.
Yep. Exactly.
Anorthosis Karmiotissa 1-0 video.
3 times.
Have they? Oh yeah, well yeah, because of the headline as well, because it's been hyperlinked. Yeah. It's just how can you take these people serious? How? I'm sorry, man. Like it infuriates me.
No, that's supposed to be a news site.
Yeah.
So fake news.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, let's move away. Well, I mean, it's still going to be social media, but at least this time is going to be something different, right? So, going back to Olympiacos, there's a lot of stuff happening with the Olympiacos all of a sudden. But anyway, the Olympiacos fan group is not happy with the way things are being run at the moment. Obviously, with Dornaridis getting rid of Sergidis and bringing Dudic back, even though he considered them unsuitable to take the club forward after half a pre-season. Decided to bring him back anyway. Now the Olympiacos fan group basically wrote a letter, as fan groups do, complaining about a lot of the stuff that's going on at the club. And they finished the last paragraph. So I've got a quote of it here. Is what disturbs is the way the club is in bracket not managed, the complete disrespect towards the common people, and above all, our lost dignity. Now, Dornaridis has got, sometimes he likes to mess around with his responses and, kind of like put something in about, somebody or other and never surrender and all that bollocks. Except this time, he kind of lost it a little bit. Because on Instagram, he posted, he put a post up basically saying, envy and ingratitude murdered the most important men of Hellenism. And the image is like a plaque with basically it says, the below great men of Greece died between 486 and 322 BC. You're looking for the image right now, aren't you? It's on page.
I know. I'm just trying to bring it up on the screen. I'm just trying to bring it up on the screen.
All right. So the below great men of Greece died between 486 and 322 BC. And then there's like a load of people. We've got people like Euripides, Herodoto, Anaxagoras, Aristophanes, Pythagoras, Platonas, Sophocles, Aristides, Alcibiades, all of these died in exile. Then you've got Socrates drank hemlock, Pericles resigned due to accusations, Phidias died in jail, Demosthenes drank poison. And and basically at the bottom of it says, the same thing that he said at the top there, which is basically the envy and ingratitude murdered the most important men of Hellenism. I mean, the ego on him to compare himself to these people. Put your dick away. It's not that big.
I'm just going to say it like it is right now. We know that he's got an overinflated ego, and to some degree, I see where he's coming from, because he's a successful businessman. He owns a football club. He's done well. However, which way he's made his money, he's done it right. But the problem is twofold. The first sense is he wrote a book, as you know. Right?
No, we all know he wrote a book.
We all know, right? He wrote this book, right? And I haven't read it. I've got no interest in reading it. I couldn't care less. That's his life. Other people do. They care about it. But the second problem is that you've got various outlets in Cyprus, be it Facebook pages, other podcasts, who basically pander him. They pander over him. They do interviews with him. They have articles about him, and he constantly replies to people on Facebook. He's really interactive when it comes to that. But what's the end goal here? Is this some kind of ploy to gain popularity so that further down the line, perhaps, and this is the shot in the dark. This is the Hail Mary. Perhaps he wants to run for president of Cyprus one day.
What you think?
Can you imagine?
You think he's going to Donald Trump it?
Hey,
I mean, he does talk a lot about Trump, doesn't he? So
I'm telling you, mark my words. We probably won't be doing this pod in 4 years. I might be buried. He might get someone to bury me alive. I don't fucking know. But on my deathbed, just remember.
Remember. He's gonna say his last words are gonna be Tornaridis did it.
I didn't surrender, and I'm president of Cyprus.
Oh my God! I'll tell you what. No, please, for the love of God, no.
Well, look, I that just tells me that ain't gonna be no fucking end to the Cyprus problem.
yeah. If anything else, can you imagine Tornaridis being like, wait. I can build 4 hotels in Varosi as well. All right.
I can't imagine him going to like some kind of UN meeting. I can't.
I imagine him reacting a bit like Gaddafi, where Gaddafi trying to get rid of Switzerland. Like, this bit should go to France, this bit to Germany, and that bit to Italy, and there you go. No more Switzerland.
Oh my God. Oh,
anyway,
Cyprus isn't one of the G8 nations, are they? They're not.
Dear Lord, no. Although they are part of the G8 because of their because of being in the European Union.
Can you just imagine, like, they have one of these Zoom meetings because they can't get to one event for whatever reason, and he's going to be like on the treadmill in the gym. You can just imagine it with his string vest and his fucking MMA gloves on, just running on the treadmill.
Oh God!
You will not come to Cyprus.
Oh God! You're gonna clip that in. You're gonna clip that in with him.
For sure. For sure. For sure.
Oh, tag him. No, no.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, fucking hell.
Anyway,
let's move on. What's
that's
the next?
it. That's it for that bit. Let's go
Oh wow,
to the
we've
next.
done 50 minutes and we haven't even gone on to the Group A games.
Right. Group A. Now, the thing is, right, there's been barely any goals, right, this week. So it's fine. It's going to go quickly. For the matches themselves, it's going to go quickly. So
3 goals in 3 games, boys and girls. And let's start off with AEK Larnaca beating Omonia by 2-0. 2 defensive mistakes cost Omonia. Although I would say we started well. The first 7 minutes, we looked all right, in all fairness. I thought we were going to get something out of it. We had a couple of decent opportunities. But then Grushko scored a goal from the back stick, across from Rosales. He had all the time in the world. There we go, back stick. Grushko, bang. What's happening here? Is it stuttering or is it just me?
no, it's stuttering.
It's stuttering, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gusko scores a lovely volley on the back stick. I don't know what happened there. But sorry, boys and girls, I'm not going to fucking replay it because you're going to see the replay anyway. But yeah, here you go. Thassos, back stick, unmarked. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody needed a confidence boost, it's these guys, and Omonia lined it up for him. There was so much of this game after that. Like the 2 goals were defensive errors, so that's fine. But there was so many more defensive, just non-existence happening a lot again.
Yep. Well, to be fair, I could have won 4-0 had it not been for VAR because they had this one disallowed.
Yeah, it's a dodgy one. This one, isn't it? Because you could argue that his arms are there because he's landed on the floor, so he couldn't move him out of the way. But yeah, see, he tries to header it, but he doesn't. The ball stopped because of his hand. It's a difficult one. I mean, the way they've been given those decisions in Cyprus is a bloody travesty all season. I mean, just ask Billy Dyer.
Yeah. Well, shall we? When you're talking about decisions, shall we discuss the decisions made by Omonia's backline for this goal? Because there are so many things wrong about this. From the fact that Zahario doesn't win the header, fine, I get it. But the guy that wins the ball is the guy that ends up putting the ball in the box because he runs 20 yards unmarked. And you got Panayiotou back stick, just watching the ball. You got Gitso back stick, not chasing the runner. This is, oh mate, I
give up. Everybody's kind of wrong side of everything, kind of in this move as well, aren't they? It's just. It didn't work out. But I mean, it's kind of very difficult to kind of add on additionally to kind of what you discussed after the game on the no Choftes is there's defensive errors. I mean, the only thing I can add is kind of maybe they did it on purpose.
What, to put more pressure on Upwell?
Yeah, because think about it, right? I have had a nightmare run of form, right? So what do you do to kind of make things a bit more difficult for Upwell?
What, play 3 at the back and put Zahario right wing back? Okay. I see where you're coming from now.
Yeah, there you go, see?
Oh, God almighty. Honestly.
See?
It was poor. It was just bad. It was bad.
It was.
I'm not even saying Michael Jackson bad. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. The Farage basically had the freedom of both those, like 2-3 defenders there. and he was just doing whatever he wanted between them. I don't know. Pirich as well. He pulls off a great save. He pulls off a couple of good saves as well.
Bessedin has to score there. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
he has to score there.
Well,
And then there's a chance from Loizo afterwards where he skies it. It's just, mate, I can't stress how frustrating this game was because, again, I don't like to throw players under the bus and say stuff like they didn't try, but that first half, it killed us for a start. It killed us. And yeah, they played better second half. We went 4-2-3-1 and, we moved the ball pretty well and we were shooting and this and that. But there was nothing there that made me think, oh, if that one went in, then almost. I mean, even look at this one. Like, at least keep it down. Keep it down.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Bessedin is just a fucking waste of time anyway, but I'm not going to go into that. The guy's scored one goal in like 800 days. I mean, that's disgusting. So, anyway, whatever, man.
Watch him bag a hat trick tomorrow.
Oh, fucking hell. If he does, I'll shave my pubes off. I'll do it live. I'll do it live on cam.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Clip it! Clip it! Tag him in it. That's it. If that ain't motivation for the players, nothing is.
Even Gromov scored, for fuck's sake. I know it was disallowed for offside, but even this guy scored. I mean, what does that tell you?
Gromov never bloody scores. Yeah.
He doesn't even have to celebrate.
Dear man. Yeah.
Anyway, fucking tragic. I don't think there's anything else for me to say about this game. Whatever.
No, obviously Ultra has been looking for a result from somewhere. He's got it. I can back in it now as well, obviously, because of our boys' form dropping off and Addis being so far behind before their big lot of form started, means that things are getting spicy again up at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Which we will be discussing after the game, so I can bring it up on the screen and see the Gadastasi that is my team that are just languishing like 8 points behind Apollon in 5th place. But I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, next game. Bafo went away to Apollon, beat them 1-0. Abdurrahimi is in the form of his life, my friend. But the one thing I will say, I think Bafo got away with it, in all fairness, because Apollon had a few half chances before they went a goal behind, and they still created some things in the second half. But it was one of those games where it could have gone either way because Bafo had their fair share of chances. But I think if Apollon were a little bit more clinical, they'd have got something out of it. But I think the main talking point was Andone getting sent off, which was absolutely beautiful in terms of his reaction. Not that he got sent off, but his reaction wanting to fight the referee. But anyway, I'll leave the floor to you.
I mean, but we'll see it in the highlights package, I think. But Bafos kind of renaissance continues. Abdurrahimi scores, like you said. He's been scoring seems to be every game. He seems to be scoring a goal now. And again, Bruno starts the game off the bench. So Kane gets sent off.
Bafo fans don't rate him.
They don't.
No,
they don't, do they? Well, I mean, it was a discussion. I think I had a discussion with I think it's a Brazilian account that's kind of following the Cypriot league as well.
Yep.
Was talking about Bruno coming into Bafos, and then kind of tracking that drop in form, and they had like points per game before January and points per game after January, and it was that drop off. It was significant, and it seems to be that the kind of Bruno being into the team kind of restricted kind of the attacking options, whereas kind of not having him on and bringing somebody like keeping somebody like Tankovic or Abdurrahimi or some of the other attacking players that they've got gives him a bit more flexibility, and I think that's what the issue is. And it was something that I think Berg was kind of digging in kind of digging in with his first 11, picking the same team, trying to get something to work with them, and it just wasn't happening. I mean, the other one, I think, was it Ikoko that he wasn't playing?
Ikoko, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did want to
and
play him.
since Salgado came back, he's been brought back into the team, and he's been. I think he got picked in the team of the week this week.
Yep.
So
That's a great
so,
challenge, that. That's
it
a
is.
great challenge.
It is. Salgado kind of coming in. I don't know what he's done to these players, but
Well, they seem a bit more organized defensively, but the
yeah,
one thing I will say is it's a common denominator between every team in Cyprus, that it's the ball watching in the back line.
yeah,
The two chances that we've just seen is as a result of the Buffalo back line watching the ball, no attention to the man. I mean, he's got to
yeah,
put that away as far as I'm concerned. That's a
yeah,
pretty poor
yeah,
finish as well.
yeah, yeah,
So
pretty much.
this is the bit where Andone absolutely goes crazy, because for me that's not a foul, but he's
Yeah,
lost his shit completely.
yeah. So he gets a yellow card for his original reaction, I think, and then I think he says something to the ref. I think he says something to the ref,
Yeah.
and that's when the red card comes out.
And he goes full Delia Smith. Let's be
Yeah.
having you.
Yeah. He looked like he was about to pop off. Now, obviously, yeah,
Vex.
yeah, and then Kane gets the second yellow. It's the second yellow here, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a second yellow. Again, it's another
Yeah.
needless challenge because the guy
Yeah.
is going nowhere. He's
Yeah.
actually lost possession. He's kicked the ball in front, and anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I think VAR is asking for that challenge to come in as well. I think he's the
Yeah.
kind of player that will bring. He'll be looking for somebody to challenge him to try and get that second yellow and things like that from him. So
Yeah.
they fell hook, line, and sinker for it. But yeah, you can see the frustration from Andoni and the players. The tackles that were flying in. The kind of the press conference after the game, but also the spokesman for Apollon were at pains to make sure to not blame the referee because they had a foreign referee, and that's what they want, foreign referees. So we're going to be nice about the referee, but what they did say was they complained about, the Apollon people complained about Bafos players diving and staying on the ground too long after a challenge to keep breaking up the rhythm of the match. And I think that the press secretary said that, well, if that's how you play football, then congratulations for playing good football. which I thought was really fucking bitter. if you ask me, because Bafos had a game plan, same way Andonia has game plans. Salgado had a game plan.
Yep.
The whole point was to kind of frustrate. They kind of kept Warda out of the game. Try and keep Bittaz out of the game. Try and keep Hambos quiet. A lot of the players that Andoni's been relying on, trying to keep them quiet, which is kind of like how Andoni's been getting the results against other teams as well. He's been keeping their better players quiet, working on their tactics. So Salgado lined up the team to kind of counteract that, and that's the kind of the bitty game that we end up having when you've got two kind of tactics that are kind of like bashing up against each other like that. Yeah. So you're going to end up with a bitty game, lots of tackles flying in, lots of kind of gamesmanship and that kind of thing. Sometimes, both teams required a result there. And that's how they thought they were going to get the result. So you can't really go after one team when your own tactics are kind of like similar to kind of break up the play, try and catch on counter-attacks and the rest of it. Those are my thoughts anyway on that type of.
No, I agree with you, and it worked clearly because Bitter didn't get on the score sheet, even though there was that one opportunity which the defender cut out. But I think Apollon will be quite disappointed they didn't get anything out of the game because,
Yeah.
as I said, that there was some opportunities and there was some mistakes that Buffon made defensively that they're just so typical of Cypriot football. And it's funny because I remember saying weeks ago that all they needed to do was change their goalkeeper, get a new goalkeeper that could keep the ball out of the net, and they'd be all right. But wow, how wrong was I? I mean, when was the last time they kept the clean sheet against Ajax, and they kept the clean sheet at the weekend. But prior to that, I think there was a draw against Apoel in the playoffs. I think that was Berg's second from last game. I'm not sure. But they've been conceding goals left, right, and centre. I mean, we beat them for fuck's sake, and Bessedin scored. That tells you how bad the situation must have been at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's move on then. Go
just
on.
one small thing. As Apollon celebrated its 69th anniversary on the 14th of April.
Okay.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Nice. 69th.
There you go. Next season, the big 7-0.
Okay, yeah, we'll just keep skipping past that joke. It's fine.
Well, I don't want to get facetious. For once.
Yeah, we're better than that. Yeah.
The next game.
Yeah.
Aris drawing 0-0 with Apoel, but they could have had all 3 points had Gogorin not taken the identical spot kick after it was ordered to be retaken. Apoel had their chances, don't get me wrong. But it was end-to-end stuff, really. And I'm quite surprised it ended 0-0. But the thing is, what I will say, Thassos, is having spoken to a few Apoel fans, they're pretty pleased with the point. And it seems that they would have taken the point beforehand. And I think Aris fans would have done had it not been for the penalty. I think if they didn't get a penalty, they'd have been like, yeah, okay, a point is great. But knowing that they missed and the same taker missing it twice, they'll be kicking themselves for sure. I just hope for their sake that it doesn't come back to bite them on the ass. But your mate Belic was the hero, saving the penalty twice and diving the same place twice.
Yeah. No, it wasn't just obviously the penalty saves. He had a very, 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 very good game, and all credit to him. He did have a dodgy decision at one point. I think he comes out and like right on the edge of his 16-yard box to try and block a cross or whatever. But the penalty saves. There's a couple. I think there's a shot from Morgan Brown as well. He does very well to save as well.
The thing is with the penalty save, I thought it was a replay because it was exactly the same. Exactly the same.
I think I think that Kokorin was thinking, well, yeah, he probably doesn't think I'm going to go same exact place, so I'll do the same exact place. He'll probably go the other direction, and it's like you're always second guessing, aren't you? So it's pot luck a penalty, and he did very well. Again, he saved 2 or 3 great shots that other Belic days would have ended up being a goal. Yeah. He had an incredible game. He did
Morgan was channeling his inner Paul Scholes, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was proper going for it. He did. He wants to get back on top of that. Goal of the season award. He wants it.
Standard.
He wants it, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, hits the bar. Unlucky for him as well. I think, bicycle kick again. Now, what is this? What is going on with these bicycle kicks, man? but yeah. I think
he has to score there, Ben, doesn't he? He has to score there.
Yeah. And I think, it was great. Yeah, here you go. Belic, what is he doing? What is he doing on the edge of his box there? But yeah, apart from that, he had a fantastic game. a lot of these players that were on the pitch had great games. You know, what I noticed as well was kind of like a game of two halves. Like Apoel were more in control in the first half. Second half, Aris were a bit more in control. The but I think kind of the draw in the end is kind of the right result. You know, if you think the penalty goes in, Filidaya gets a bit more luck with that bicycle kick, and it sneaks in. You know, I think it's basically the 1 point between the two of them. I think is the right result. Do you see the press conference after the game from Spilevski as well?
I didn't.
He said that a point from the game would have been better than a win, because if they were 4 points clear, they would have got complacent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm sure he would have preferred to have the 3 points.
Yeah, maybe that was his way of kind of patting his players on the head and said, right, okay, it wasn't the result that we wanted, but it wasn't a loss.
Yeah.
So I think he's playing it down a little bit. And let's be fair, I mean, from what I understand, Addis, the mood inside the camp is that they're very upbeat, but they're playing down everything because they just want to stay focused on winning the title. They've got Buffon next, which is going to be a difficult game. Apoel face Omonia, and obviously our form hasn't been great, but when it comes to playing Apoel and trying to stop them from winning the title, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a different Omonia anyway.
Form goes out the window in those games, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. And Ajax playing Apollon, which again is going to be another barnstormer. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think, as I said, if you'd have told both teams before the game you're going to take a draw, they'd have taken it. But if you'd have told Aris fans you'd get a penalty and you miss, how would you feel? Gutted. Fact is, the thing is, I'm seeing similarities with Apoel to Apollon last season in terms of the playoffs, because Apollon didn't win any games until the last 3, was it, or the last 2?
Three.
Last 3, yeah, when they beat Apoel. And it's the same sort of thing. Apoel haven't won a game yet in the playoffs. They haven't won a game, which on the one hand you could say is concerning, but they've only got 1 loss as well. So they're not losing games.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what to make of this, in all fairness. I mean, what do you know about the Apoel fans? Have they been saying anything about Milojevic?
Well, there was talk of, you know, maybe he's getting the tactics wrong. So for instance, having certain players who are available, or at least he had them on the bench. You should be starting those players, and you probably get a more positive result if you did that. But there seems to be a general kind of like feeling of just not getting the rub of the green, some decisions going against them referee wise. You know, mention that handball that Filidaya had that wasn't a handball. You know, and they kind of, there's this mentality, like even more than normal, like Apoel fans have got this mentality of like everybody doesn't like us, so fuck everybody, it's Apoel versus the world. It seems to be even more right now. So there seems to be kind of a unity with the fans and the team. There doesn't seem to be like there were like whispers of whether or not the manager's doing a good job or not, but that seems to have died down over the Easter break. I think obviously there's some players that are coming back to fitness. You know, players like Ben, Konstantinov, Villafañez is injured again, which is going to cause them some problems. But you know, there's some players that are coming back to fitness. There's some players that the fans are not understanding why it's still being used. Like Garo is being questioned a lot. But in general, it's still very positive because you know, still very close. Nobody wants Apoel to win the league, so So how it's going right now is going well enough, kind of thinking.
What I will say is I've noticed the form of Sarfos dipped quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether that's because of the amount of games that he's played, because he's been practically a never present this season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Kostadinov is back, which is an important thing for the club, but I don't know whether Sarfo is actually burnt out or he's just hit a bad patch. But for one of your best players to be out of form at this stage of the season, it can't be great. But yet there's still 5 games to play, and there's still 15 points to play for. So I'm not ruling them out at all, and I'd be stupid to do that. Although, again, going back to what you said, Villafañez has picked up an injury. I don't know how serious that is. It didn't seem pretty. I don't know. Kvilidai isn't scoring goals. That must be frustrating for him because he just seems like the hold-up player more than anything. And as you quite rightly said, he was unlucky not to score the goal. But I don't know. There's just something about him this season where I think if they had one guy that could put the ball in the back of the net consistently, they will walk the title. But McKay hasn't done much. I don't know.
He's
hasn't
had his injuries as well. Ben has been injured as well. They've had quite a few injuries. So when Ben plays, it's a bit like Kokorin with Aris. Obviously not the same kind of player because Kokorin's still got pace on him. Ben, bless him, he's very good. He's very, very good technically, like mentally, but speed is not exactly his forte. But he's got players like Dongala, he's got players like Marquinhos who have got that speed. He can feed in, and he does really, really well at doing that. But you need him fit. You need your players fit, and there's a lot of players in that team who haven't been even at 80% fitness. So Sarfo's probably one. Konstantinov came back from injury too early. He got re-injured. You've got Villafañez is the same. There's a few players that I think have been brought back a bit too early.
And Elia is still sat on the bench.
Yeah,
which is I find it incredible. But the other thing I will say is that when you look at Aris, for example, obviously Morgan Brown hasn't been playing week in, week out. I know I don't know whether he's been rested or for tactical reasons, he hasn't been starting games. But when you look at their bench, they still got Sikorski to come off the bench, Spoljaric. I mean, fucking Gomis and Mayambella were on the bench as well at the weekend.
Yeah.
So you're looking at their squad and you're thinking, while you could say, they don't have, the title-winning experience in Cyprus, because obviously Van Alves has won titles and Borussia, etc. But you look at the depth that they've got, and I think, to be fair, they've been lucky without, not to get serious injuries, whereas Abuel have been picking up injuries left, right, and centre all season. Now, this is my final question when it comes to these two teams. Is it time to start questioning perhaps Abuel's training methods? Because for you to get that many injuries throughout a season, and it's the same players with similar injuries, it can't be a coincidence, surely.
I don't think it's necessarily the training. I think he just keeps. He has his favorite 11, and if he thinks or if they think they're ready, then he brings them in. They might not necessarily be ready because it is repeat injuries. Konstantinov, his latest injury, he came back. He played a very poor game. I can't remember against who now. And then the next game he got injured again. So back to recovery period. You've got Marquinhos is in and out of the team all the time due to injuries. You've got Ben being sat out for long periods of time. Makeda the same. I don't think it's necessarily the training. I think it's just kind of physio-wise, they're not holding the players back. Like if you just wait another game, players will be a bit more fresh. The ones that you want them to play, they've got a certain specific way of playing, and the rest of it. Because they even brought back who did they have on loan from Baralimnina? They brought back the Portuguese, the young Portuguese fella.
Yes. I forgot his name now.
But he's been back, and they brought him back for a reason.
Yeah.
And he hasn't made any appearances.
Yeah.
So I think it's more the manager's got his favourite 11. If those 11 are ready to go in inverted commas, then he's going to go with those 11.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. Because again, for me, my argument will be since they got knocked out of the cup, the 1st of March, they've been playing one game a week.
Yep.
So they played 6 games since, and we obviously had a break for Easter.
Yep.
So maybe it's the recovery, as you said, maybe it's the physiotherapy section or side of things. But it's a big enough squad, and it's a good enough squad to challenge clearly.
Yep.
But then are some of these players injury prone? Because Donis always seems to pull up with an injury. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but Donis has history though. He's an injury prone player.
Well, this is it. If you know about this, then why are you taking a risk? I don't know. Why are you risking signing him? And then, as I said, you got Ilya on the bench, who is a proven goal scorer in Cyprus. I don't see why he doesn't get the opportunities. I mean, the last time he scored, was it against Garmiodisa, if I'm not mistaken?
He came off the bench at one point and scored, yeah. I can't remember which game it was, but yeah. He was on because Abo were winning by quite some margin as well beforehand. So I think he basically replaced Gvili Daya just to give Gvili Daya a bit of a rest.
It might have been against someone like Baralimni or something, I don't know, or Salamina.
Yeah. But I think he just has his preferred 11. Even if they're like 60% fit, he says, "Okay, you're playing." You've got to remember, he came into the team. 10 games in? What was it?
Yeah,
10, 12 games in. So not really any players. The players that were signed weren't. He came into the team once the team was built. So he obviously thinks some of those players on the periphery aren't worth the time.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yep. Anyway, we've done an hour and 20 minutes. We've got loads to talk for Division 2, mate.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna try and blast through some of this. So, before we go to Division 2, Aris have got a new mascot. I just want to get my joke in. New God of War just dropped, and Kratos is shitting himself. There you go. There was also more social media stuff for Aris. Aris fans in Bitilia, my people, Bitilia.
Yo, Pete.
Ari Timisu o Kadomilos Mazisu. Now, my grandma lives from the village up from Gadomilo, right? Population of Gadomilos maybe is 20 if you count them twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, still, respect to Evlogia do Gadomilo, if she's still alive. But yeah, you've got to make that distinction. You've got to make that distinction. There's Evlogia do Gadomilo, and then there's Evlogia Mayaya. So, yeah, don't get them too mixed up.
No.
Yeah. And then one other thing as well. Peripheral to Aris, but involves AEL and Apollon as well.
Okay.
Is Alpha Mega Stadium is being dragged through the crapper. again.
Oh no.
And also there was a report in the Cyprus Mail. So I pulled out some quotes from that report, basically on what local residents and some experienced architects have spoken about stuff. So yeah, this is the reason why I kind of had people have been watching me kind of drink from this tea. It's a herbal tea that deals with stress. Yeah, it's a stress reliever. So hopefully I don't have an aneurysm while I'm talking about this. But yeah, I'm just gonna photos online reflect the fact that the majority of streets leading to the stadium are yet to be finished, with construction sites complicating access to the venue and parking for visitors. According to Kyriakos Hadjikyriakos, a former president of Aris, one of the three clubs utilizing the stadium along with AEL and Apollon, now involved in the construction work surrounding the venue, the first phase for the completion of the road network linking it to the highway was initially scheduled to be finished by March the 30th. There were, however, delays, he admitted during an interview with Supersport FM. The matter was out of our hands. Then we've got the next two phases will also see 3 additional highway exits leading to the Alpha Mega Stadium, one of which will be for people coming from Paphos. On top of that, he hinted that a plan for an additional parking area is currently being discussed, since according to him, the current one adjacent to the stadium fits only 1,000 cars when the venue has a capacity of 11,000. Yeah, so we're 10 people are getting into one diplogambino, and that diplogambino is parking in the car park, right? Right. Now, my brother sent me a WhatsApp video, just a very quick one, kind of showing me the just one junction near the stadium, right? And they've got a zebra crossing, in theory, that they've just marked out in chalk on the road, right? And then where there's an island for people to stop, to kind of stop, so they don't get run over and then cross the other arm of the junction. There's no fucking curbs. There's no curbs, and there's no pavement on the footway. And then on top of that, obviously, you've got the Kypriakos system of parking everywhere. So where there is a footway, there's fucking cars on top of it.
I'm tempted to bring it up.
Oh my god! Oh, just fucking. Anyway,
to bring it up.
So here's another quote as well. So the first phase involved the construction of pavements, pedestrian crossings, and street lighting. Right?
Look at it.
Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up.
There you go. Look at it. Fucking look at it. Right? Play it again from the beginning. Play it again from the beginning. Right? To the left. Look. No fucking street lights. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's a joke.
Look how this guy's parked.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. Look at
the lining on the road is done by fucking chalk. What is that? Oh, look.
Oh, my God.
There you go, guys. There's your crossing there. It's unbelievable. Right?
Oh, amazing.
And I'll just leave this.
What's happening here with this island bit? What's happening here?
Well, that's supposed to be an island, right? That's supposed to block people turning left onto that side road.
Oh my god!
And then people coming onto the main road, right? And because the junction's too wide, they put an island in the middle, and in that island, it's going to be like a waiting area for pedestrians to cross.
I love how this guy's parked. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Listen, right? Somebody hire me. I'll do a report. I'll go over there, take some pictures, be like, that needs fixing, that needs fixing, that needs. Fucking do it now. Do it. Look for now. Right. I just finished with one last quote, right?
You turn into Zoolander. Do it.
The real
Yeah.
problem is the lack of coordination amongst parties involved, which resulted in unfinished streets, limited available parking, and general inconveniences for fans and residents alike.
The lack of what?
The lack of coordination.
So you never heard the blueprints?
No. What it is that you've got like the Department of Transport, you've got Sports Department, you've got 40 different contractors that are probably working on the site. You've got Keles over here, Pezevengi's over here. You've got Raro in front of you. You've got Golus behind you, right? They're all speaking 40 different kinds of loud Neziga, and there isn't anybody just grab all of these people and just knock their fucking heads together, right? That's what's needed. I mean, it even said like in nicer words. That's what it said in the report as well. That there's nobody coordinating these people. Now, I'll remind you that the last Minister of Transport signed off on the first phase of these fucking works in December. So in theory, the first phase of works, which they now said that they've been delayed, which was supposed to be finished on March the 30th, were actually signed off as finished in December for the stadium to open.
I'm not going to say anything because the next thing I say might completely tip you off the scales.
One more. Now, this Minister of Transport that signed off on this pile of, it's like a mountain of bollocks with hairs on, right? He's now going around on all these podcasts, on Orthodoxy podcasts, and on different kind of like waving his arms in the air, like the fucking Queen, going, "Yes, I'm no longer Minister of Transport. Let's talk about football." Fuck off!
Oh my god!
I wish I was playing this up. This is my real feelings. I wish I was acting. It's like it's like.
Calm down, tranquilo, amigo. You're gonna have an aneurysm.
It's all right. Let's move on to other things that are going to cause me aneurysms. All right, we've got Dolibom. Woosa.
Oh mate.
Bad Boys 2. Woosa. Anyway, so Vrionidis.
Yay! Spin the wheel!
Yay! So, obviously, we talked about that one match ban for Achna fans.
Yes.
And we also talked about him saying he would publish a letter the next day explaining his reasoning. That was on the 12th of April. But now on the 25th of April, and he hasn't made anything available yet.
Oh, okay.
So, there's that. Now, there's more things missing as well.
Maybe he forgot the password to his laptop. I don't know.
Maybe, because there's more things missing as well.
Oh.
So, I think we spoke about it last time, but
Yes.
Baik Gerinya have been done for match fixing by the ethics committee. Nothing in there from Vrionidis about what kind of punishment is going to befall either Baik or the players involved. So there's that. And then nothing about what we discussed with regards to the Hermes versus Xilodimbo match as well. Nothing on that. But there are some things to report. Things like for slapping the ball in Chico Banza's face in the literal foul throw. Lukili doesn't get any extra game bans, but he does have to pay an extra fine. Now, a load of Hermisa Radipo staff. So we didn't talk about any match fixing, but the 3 physio staff for Edmis Aradipo have been given 2-game bans and fines for unsportsmanlike behaviour towards the referee in the 85th minute for swearing at the ref and the opposition. There you go. More there. Now, as well, so this is going to lead on to some other stuff, but as well,
Come on.
ALS Omonia 29th of May, there's blah blah blah, second longest team name in Gibro, have been fined for fans spitting at a player before the start of and at the opposition coach throughout the game, pitch invasion at the end of the game, and for throwing objects at the start and throughout the match aimed at a player of the opposition bench, which explains why the police went as crazy as they did for their match against AES Zagagiu. And here we go. ILS Omonia 29th of May versus AES Zagagiu.
Yep.
Big crunch match at the top of the table in Division B, which involved a lot of backwards and forwards of so those who've been watching / listening to us for a while will know AES has come up a few times because of match fixing allegations. Well, now they're on the block second time for match fixing versus Omonia Aradipo. And this time a recording has surfaced of the fix being discussed in a gafene. So there's a YouTube video available for people. A very good follower of ours. I'm gonna have to look it up. Sorry, my guy. Provided the video, and I went in there and watched the whole thing and broke it down. And there's like a whole business. Hold on, let me just get my fella's name on there so I can get him.
It's a wild one, and the thing is, right? I don't know if there's there's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this. It's damning. It is crystal clear. Like, okay, they've manipulated it's the referee, isn't it? The referee's voice.
Yeah. I don't know. No, I don't think it's a referee. I think it's somebody in the EGC for either Omonia or AES. But yeah. So it's at P_Ace_P. Ace betting is provided me with the YouTube video. So I'm just going to break down as quickly as I can what's said in the video. So on 15th of March 2023, reports are circulating of a new red envelope concerning a game of the second division. The Cyprus FA in a statement refuted the reports. So we talked about that already. A few hours after the Cypriot FA's statement, the Committee of Ethics and Safeguarding in Sport, with an official statement, refuted the Cyprus FA and confirmed that the instruction for investigating match fixing between Omonia Aradipo and AES came from the Cyprus FA and the UEFA's sports radar. Now, then they explain that there's an audio recording from a member of the board of Omonia Aradipo that the match in question with AES was fixed. The audio recording concerns representatives of both teams, but also the referee. So then they've got like a kind of voice modulated discussion. So clearly, when the whole thing with AES happened, we had a lot of pressure from the guys from half time. I made the movements that I needed to do, and the game happened how we wanted it to. So then they discuss about the first clip, which was basically that. Omonia Aradipo were winning at half time, and since they did exactly what they needed to do in the second half, AES equalised and in the end won the game. At 1-1, Omonia Aradipo were given a penalty, which they missed, and in the 80th minute, AES won the game with their own penalty. And then there's another audio recording, which basically involves the referee in the match fixing as well as the players. So the quote is, there were 2 players involved, 2 players. I'm telling you, I was scared. and they were so sure. I found the referee, but he could not give the penalty against us. He could not give the penalty against us. Sorry, it was obvious. He shot the penalty wide, and he gave a penalty to Ayers that wasn't a penalty. So big brouhaha, and then obviously this being released so close to a big crunch game with Omonia 29th of May. There were some accusations from Ayers that this was released at this time on purpose to put off the team. So they brought out a statement. So it's a long statement. Again, I'm going to try and get through it as quickly as I can. To everyone who wishes to harm our team, we are obliged to respond to their irresponsible and needless attack with absolute clarity and resolution. Today's report followed the announcement from 29th of May, Omonia 29th of May, which was unsubstantiated and inconsistent. From our side, we ask only what any sensible person would, guarantees for our safety, regardless of past events. And then they list out a bunch of games where there was issues with Omonia 29th of May fans. To avoid degrading the situation further, we've been silent following Omonia 29th of May's statement. Sadly, we are required to provide additional statements in public due to the conversation happening on the internet and the inaccurate reporting, which is trying to undermine our team a few days prior to our season's most important game. The audio released has no proof as to its accuracy and could have been recorded in any coffee shop in Cyprus and by anyone. We are warning anyone who tries to harm our team that we will take all necessary measures to protect the team and our rights. In fact, we will use all legal means provided to us to address these false and baseless accusations. Finally, we will not be revisiting the subject, and we will not be involved in a war of words, and re-emphasizes that matches are won on the pitch, and our team is concentrating on the preparation of the match on Saturday. There you go. Now, I suspect that there's an altered version of whatever recording happened there, with obviously all the gaps and everything, has been sent to that ethics board, including any names that might have been mentioned. Now, this could be a big problem for Ayers if they found to fix the second game, because as I've discussed previously, second time caught means a 3-point deduction and a €5,000 fine, which would mean, based off of the results this weekend, Ayers drop out of promotion and Omonia take their place instead.
Yep. And that's something that they don't want right now, because they've been practically top of the league for most of the season anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
So the game itself played out in front of a maximum allowed capacity of 1,200 people as per police instruction. As part of the match security, the police brought out their big mama, the water cannon kind of thing, just in case it was going to kick off. The thing looks like a bloody tank. I wasn't able to find a picture of it, but Jesus Christ. So there were 8 minutes of injury time in the game, and someone on the Omonia 29th of May bench got sent off, and there was a penalty appeal for handball at one point as well. Now, I haven't been able to find the highlights of the game. I don't know if they were live. I don't know if the game was shown live or not. It should have been, right? But
you'd have thought Vision would have got that.
Yeah, but I've not been able to find anything on it. But anyway, after the game, Ayers posted on were posting on the social media as if they'd won the game. So like they had like a team photo, kind of all the team in the dressing room being like. And also they posted this weird Veni Vidi Vici post.
Oh God!
Because they drew 0-0. Like, so the last one is I conquered, guys. I was victorious. That's where Vic comes from. Victory. Yeah, you don't post that after you win. After you win 0-0, yeah.
Yeah, but do you know what? I think again, this is another pot shot at Omonia. I think Ayers, and again, this is me guesstimating or just, it's conjecture, it's not fact. I think this is them saying nothing's going to happen to us. Everything's going to be okay. We didn't lose to you lot. So it's a moral victory. That's what I think it is.
Either way, don't want to be winding up
Not
Omonia 29 more
not
than
gate 9. No fucking way.
So.
But again, it goes back to what I said on the last show. I don't think the Cypriot, the CFA want them promoted. I don't think they want them. I don't think they want them. But then again, speaking to some people that I know that have an eye on the club, from what I understand, a lot of their fans don't even want to be promoted.
Okay.
From what I've been told, a lot of them don't want to be promoted because obviously money gets involved and it goes against their philosophy and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's a bizarre one for sure.
Yeah. So obviously, kind of because this was main event, an actual thing happened in the second division as well.
An actual thing.
Like Othello's Athieno have been confirmed promoted.
Yes, congratulations.
So congratulations. Congratulations are in order to the team from Athieno, which means the Dasagi in Achna is going to have top league football regardless of whether Ethnicos go up or not.
Yes.
because I don't think the CFA is going to let another team play in Larnaga as well on top of all the other teams that play in Larnaga.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So congratulations to Othello's regardless. They made it. Good one, lads. A couple of other things in the lower divisions as well. The Nizagritas Morpho, third division champions. So congratulations to them. Refugee team. They were in the first team. They were in the first division very recently. They were relegated in 2007. And they kind of fell off a cliff after that, obviously.
Morpho was my mum's village. Yay!
Yeah. So there you go. Gonna have some second division representation in there.
Yeah.
Good for them. And then there's a non-league promotion party as well. So Hieroskipou FC and my favourites, Spartakos Gidio, will be playing third division football next season. So for those people that don't remember, Spartakos Gidio are the ones with the great social media stuff.
The octopus keeper and the rocket launcher guy, and
exactly. So I'm looking forward to more of that, please. Thank you very much.
But whatever you do, please don't use Hootsuite.
Yeah, don't use Hootsuite.
Don't. Well, if you're going to use it properly. Tag the right players. Don't end up tagging like, I don't know, Stan Collymore.
I mean, you can tag Stan Collymore.
You could try and see if he gets a response.
Yeah. See what he does.
Just make sure everybody's Swedish players. So, thank you, Thassos, for your research. I'm blown away as ever. And
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Let's wrap it up with the league table because we haven't done that, believe it or not, for the first division for the Brodath Lima. So let me just bring it up one moment, please. Just bear with me. Just keep bearing. Bear hug. Bear grills. Bear people in the house. I know that's a rubbish one, but it's bought me a bit of time. Here we go. This is the league table. So as you can see at the bottom, Agrida Paralimnion Olympiacos are stranded. They need more than a life raft here. Olympiacos are now 9 points behind Doxa.
Yep.
And it's not looking good. How many games have they got left?
So the relegation group have got 40 games to play altogether.
14?
No, they've got 40 games to play altogether. So they've got 7 games
7.
left. Yeah.
7 left. So there's still an outside chance, but
there's 21 points to play for. So in theory, Nias Salamina can still go down.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Nobody's safe.
Nobody's the top that we're more concerned about.
Yes.
Aris are top by a point. Abua second on 63. but it's creeping up behind them. AEK Larnaca on 61 points, and AEK face Apollon at the weekend before Buffalo face Allison, before Abo play Omonia. So by Monday morning, AEK could be in second place. In fact, they could be joint top. Flipping hell. Blimey, we the title race is back on.
Yeah,
It's actually back on.
There's 6 points between the top 4.
Yeah, and Buffalo are still with a chance as well. They're only, 5 points behind Apoel?
Yeah.
My, Delilah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wowzers. I don't talk about my team. Fuck my team.
Yeah. The thing I was going to mention is Omonia have got the same points as 8th place.
Yeah, that's true. I'm obviously that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But what I will say, no, I'm not going to say anything. I was about to say that we still got a chance of finishing 4th, but it doesn't make a difference because 4th doesn't mean nothing anyway.
Yeah, unless well, Baffle would need to win the cup and then come 3rd.
Yeah, we need to win all our games, which isn't going to happen. Yeah. So anyway. That's all more. It's been emotional. Thank you very much again. Thank you for everyone viewing. Don't forget to give us a follow on Twitter at This Is Mappa and on Instagram. Thasso has his at Fles Cafes on Twitter. He's very, very active and he's much more informative than our This Is Mappa account. We just like making videos and putting them out there. But
yeah, no man, but Stel is good at them videos though.
I've been slacking. The past few days. In all fairness, I've been slacking. I had to start bombarding the socials again with videos.
And if you guys don't have Instagram or Twitter, there's also the Facebook group. So I chuck in some news items in the Facebook group, and there's Stel puts the videos in the Facebook group as well. There are some people put put different team podcasts on there as well. So if you feel like your team's not represented in that group, post a video.
Absolutely. And if you want to jump on to talk Cypriot football, then you're more than welcome to. The more the merrier. But we've got a few plans in the pipeline, especially for next season. And hopefully the channel and the show will grow and grow and grow until we take over the world.
Yeah.
World domination is the target, ladies and gentlemen.
Do it.
Well, hopefully we could do it in under 2 hours per show because we've done an hour and 52.
Jesus, yeah. Like if you can, like, you don't like editing, but you could cut a little bit at the beginning, can't you?
I don't mind.
All right, man, just chuck it all in. No problem.
Fuck it.
No problemo. You lot have to deal with it, not us.
Exactly. Pearls of wisdom. Anyway, we'll be back next week, boys and girls, and there's going to be a lot of football at the weekend, and hopefully it will be entertaining apart from Group B, which is going to be crap. So until next time, good night, everybody.
Ooh.